Alright, ladies and gentlemen, how's everybody doing? Today we got a video for y'all. We're going to be doing some work on the front end of my 2014 Silverado. Going to be changing up some stuff. We're taking off the lift and putting some new lower control arms on, tie rod ends, and changing the spindles. So today we're going to be showing y'all how to do that. We got all the parts laid out over here. Also got some new rear shocks for rough country. That's the tie rod ends, ball joints, spindles. Got lower control arms from Dorman. And I got these new Ibach German-made coilovers that can go from 1.75 inches of lift to 4 inches. But I'm going to just try and keep it level. All I want to do is have my truck leveled off, and then we're going to be going back to some stock tires. And yeah, we're about to get right into it. I'm going to show y'all what y'all need to do to get all this stuff done. So once you get your truck jacked up, you get the tire taken off. First thing that you're going to want to do, take off the cap for your axle nut, and then take off your axle nut, which is going to be a 36mm socket. And then after that, you're going to be taking off the brake caliper, which is going to be an 18mm bolt. There'll be one up top, right up here, and then one on the bottom. Then your whole caliper will come off, and then next thing you'll take off is the rotor, which will have a set screw. And then after that, we're going to get this off, and I'll show you what to do next. Once you get your caliper off, get your set pin taken out for your rotor. Your rotor should just slide right off like so. And after that, what you're going to do is you're going to take your upper and lower control arm loose, get the ball joints broke loose from the spindle, and your tie rod in. And then the next thing that'll come off is your whole spindle. After that, we're going to undo the strut and then take off the lower control arm, put the new ball joint in. We'll get right back with y'all once we get started on that. So, we got the upper control arm broke loose. And a little tip to help y'all get it loose, like fairly easy, get you a jack and a board and line it up on the upper control arm straight up and down. Jack up just enough to where you see the upper control arm go up a little bit to have tension on it. Then get you a hammer and hit on the inside of your spindle. And this, after a couple hits, this should come right out without any effort. And then you won't have to do a whole lot of beating and banging and prying on it. And yeah, after that, for the lower ball joint, I'm gonna put the jack on the stud right here, jack up a little bit, do the exact same thing, tap on the spindle, and it should come out just as easy as the first one did. And then the spindle will be able to come off. So once you get the spindle taken off, next thing you want to do is you want to take these two bolts loose that hold on the bottom of your strut and take off your sway bar link. And then after that, we're going to be going off with the two bolts that hold on the lower control arm and then the ball joint. And after that, we're going to show y'all how we're going to reassemble everything with these new parts and get everything tightened down how it's supposed to be. Got the lower control arm off. These are the two bolts. And this side right here is 18, and this side I believe is a, let's see, 15/16 is what this side is. And anyway, I got this lower control arm off, and I just wanted to show y'all exactly why I was changing these. If y'all can see that movement in there, this isn't the ball joint moving, this is the housing inside of the actual lower control arm itself. So yeah, she's cooked, buddy. But anyway, we're about to get to putting this stuff back on and take out this upper ball joint on the kryptonite upper control arm and get the new one installed and start putting it back together. And we'll show you how we do that too. So what you want to do, get your new lower control arm, get it kind of wedged in there, and then you probably going to take a hammer because those new bushings will be tight in there. You're going to tap it till the holes are even, get your bolt slid in. Long one in the back, front one in the, or short one in the front, and get it snugged up but not too tight so you can still move the control arm up and down. And then we're gonna pick it up to this, get it mounted off, tighten everything up, and then your coil over and your lower control arm will be mounted up, and then we'll go on from putting the wheel bearing onto the new spindle. We got the lower control arm mounted up, coil over mounted up. Got these tightened down, and we still got to tighten the lower control arm bolts up. But before we do that, we're going to go ahead and take the wheel bearing and put it on to off of the old spindle onto this new one. See here, this is the old spindle. This is the reason I'm getting a new one. It has this slap worn out, got bad pits in it. The inside's messed up. But you gotta take these 3 bolts out and then take off this plate. You'll put the wheel bearing on that new one, put the plate on and bolt the 3 bolts back down. And then that's pretty much about it. And also put on the heat shield for the brakes. And after that, you'll have the wheel bearing on the new spindle, and it'll be ready to go on. And then also I'm gonna show you how to change the tie rod in. All right, so this is what I was talking about. You're gonna get these 3 bolts out of here, and then you'll grab your new spindle, line the holes up, just how the old one was. Don't forget the plate. Make sure the plate's always on there. Drop your 3 bolts in there. Get them started. Torque them to what they're supposed to be, and then your wheel bearing is on your new spindle, and it's ready to be put onto the truck. And I'm about to show y'all how to change that tie rod in. First thing you're gonna want to do is you're gonna break the backer nut loose, but not by a lot. Just break it loose a little bit to where you can spin the tie rod in by hand. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna hold the tie rod in still and count it, how many spins that you go off, and do the same amount of spins back on so that your alignment is roughly where it was whenever you started. And it'll give your alignment, it'll get your alignment good enough to get you to the shop to get you a good alignment put on. But I'm about to get that broke loose and show you exactly what I'm talking about here in just a second. What I mean by counting your spins, so whenever you take your ball joint or tie rod in and get it loose, you want to take and count how many spins, full rotation. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're just gonna keep going and count exactly how many times you spin it until it comes off maybe 16, 17, 18 and a half, who knows, whatever it may be. That's exactly how many threads that you want to do with the new one whenever you're going back on. All right, so it was 14 spins off. So what you want to do is get it to where it started on there, up and down. Oh, not like that, but you want to get it started on there where whenever you just get the slightest bit of thread caught on it, it's up and down like this. It's kind of hard to show you what I'm saying, but we'll count that as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then you go back on, like I said, however many times you came off with it. And then you're gonna tighten up the jam nut, and then you'll pretty much be done on this part besides the grease fitting and greasing it. Got the tie rod on, got everything greased up, everything is tightened down how it's supposed to be. And what we're gonna do next is we're gonna get the spindle and wheel bearing, and we're gonna go the wheel, we're gonna slide the bottom hole on and get the axle lined up at the same time and try to put the axle in and the lower ball joint on at the same time, and then thread the nut on to the lower ball joint, and then it'll hold it on there. You'll slide the upper control arm in the spindle, tighten everything back up. So we got the spindle on, upper and lower control arms tightened up, and the tie rod in. After that, what you're gonna wanna do is put your axle nut on, get it tightened, and put your axle nut cap back on. And then the next thing you're gonna wanna do is put the mount, the thing that holds on your brake caliper, and it's gonna be 2 18mm bolts on the back. And then after that, you get those tightened down, you can put your actual caliper on. And then we're gonna get this done. And after that, all you should need is the tire and wheel. All right, ladies and gentlemen, got the brakes and everything back on. Everything's hooked up, tightened down, ready to go. And we only did this side. We ain't gonna show you the other side because it's the exact same way, just on that side. But I hope y'all learned something from today's video, helped y'all out a little bit. And we'll catch you on the next one.